Hey, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the main building blocks that you're going to have to understand how it works. You're going to have to master if you want to build on your self-image and hope to have a happy and productive life. And this building block is, well, happiness. What is happiness? How does it work? How do we get it? Well, stick around with me on this video and let's find out. As we said in the intro, happiness is one of the building blocks that you have to have in your arsenal of skills and things of or ways of thinking if you want to have a happy and successful life. Now, what would be the easiest way to define happiness? Because if you think about it, a lot of people are happy with different things. But are they really? Because if we try to define happiness, it would be a mental state in which our ways of thinking are positive most of the time. So this would be construed as happiness. So if you think about it, whenever you're happy, your outlook on life is different. You're much more vibrant. You're much more positive. You have good posture. You're relaxed. You're more creative. Your memory serves you better, because if you think about any activities or any events in your life that happened when you were happy, you actually gave that moment a happiness index and you can more vividly remember it. So happiness is just that. It's a state of mind. And if it's a state of mind, it only means that we, to a degree, can change it. Now, let's see the opposite. What happens when people are unhappy? Well, it only is the logical conclusion that it would be opposite, and that would lead down to people feeling miserable. People going down roads of immoral behavior, hostile behavior, maybe even criminal behaviors. So all of these are to a degree tied down to being unhappy, fundamentally, if nothing else. Then we come to the other portion about happiness. How do we achieve it? How do we make it? We have gotten to a point where we've listened to so much advertisement on TV telling us that if you want to be happy, you need this item or you need this item. You will never be happy if you don't have the latest iPhone or the latest purse or the latest whatever gadget. And well, you have been lied to, because that is a backward thinking. You cannot derive happiness from objects. Happiness is derived by feeling happy. And the way to feel happy is very simple. You just do. You see, the ways that we have conditioned our minds through the help of TV and media and whatever, it is very simple. They tell us you need to be good, you need to be successful, you need to be whatever, and then you're going to be happy. And that does not work. If you need to have a slew of things align in order for you to be happy, you will never be happy. But if we take this thing and flip it around and we start by just saying, I'm happy, then by just being happy, we move forward and we start feeling better, we start working better, we start getting better outcomes, or the being good thing that we started in, and we have much better chance of success in any field that we are trying to go into. So you see, happiness innately is not deserved. If you wait to think positive thoughts and then reward yourself with the feeling of happiness, you're only going to think about how unpleasant you feel while you're trying to reach that happiness level. So all the time you're actually trying to be happy, you're moving through life feeling miserable, just so that you have some slither of happiness waiting at the end of the rainbow. Sadly, life doesn't work that way. Nor does happiness. So, in order to be happy, you just have to be happy, and then good things start happening. So, happiness is purely an internal feeling, and it is not produced by objects, but actually by how we feel and how we act. Now, I want to go back a step to what I just said. Happiness is not derived by objects. If you need a good example of this, there is something called a buyer's remorse. What is buyer's remorse? It is that feeling you get after you buy a new item, that for some reason, while you were either scrolling on your computer or maybe on your phone, you saw something which in that particular moment, thanks to an amazing marketing team, they told you that if you buy this item, no matter how expensive it is, you're going to feel happy. And you bought it. And you were like, yes, I'm gonna buy this thing, and by doing so, I'm going to buy happiness. But then that item arrived, and a day later, or 2 days later, that item from the happy thing just turned into another thing. Another useful thing that you don't really need it. It's not giving you anything except buyer's remorse when you think, damn it, I shouldn't have bought this. I really don't need this. So yes, be careful of that pitfall as well, because, well, happiness cannot be bought by objects. Also, happiness is not something that needs to be earned. You don't have to think of it as a reward for doing something. The act of doing something is what makes us happy. For example, let's say you go ahead and you help somebody, but that somebody, that help you gave, you didn't give it, a manner of expecting something in return, but you genuinely went ahead and helped, let's say, for a better lack of a word, a stranger. You helped that stranger. Interestingly enough, as you're walking away after helping this stranger you've never met, you feel a type of happiness inside. It feels good. It feels really good. You don't know how to explain it, but it is. That is because innately, one of the most happiness-inducing feelings that a man can have is the need to be needed. When somebody needs you and you are there for them. So you're part of something. You are giving back. You're basically being unselfish. So if we take this and put it as a parallel to what we see in the world today, most of it is consumerism. it's being pushed on us and making us very selfish. And then we're being sold the tale that by buying all the newest stuff, by being very selfish, somehow we're gonna end up happy because we're gonna have more than the people around us. We're gonna have better than the people around us. In reality, no. The road to happiness is not through your wallet, or it's not through the latest gadget that you have. The road to happiness is always starting here. You need to start thinking in a positive manner in order for everything to stop or start being better. And here's another thing. Another pitfall that is being sold to everybody is that you have a certain delayed gratification going on in life. Meaning, you just have to wait right now, and then later on, you're going to be rewarded for something. Now, this works to a degree in the financial world, where you don't overspend, you acquire currency, and then you can invest it and grow it and multiply it. That kind of works in the economical world. But in your head, and especially when you're working on your happiness, that does not work. Happiness is a mental habit and a mental attitude, and it is not learned and practice. And if it is not learned and practiced in the present, it is never experienced. So do not wait for the future in order for you to be happy. If you are unhappy now and waiting for some grand thing to happen in order for you to be happy, know for a fact that that grand thing will never happen. You will be unhappy. So change that. All that it requires is just a bit of mental tweaking. Because you see, life is not always about just being happy. Nobody's always happy. Life is a string of problems that you have to solve. And if you wait for all of your problems to be over in order for you to be happy, then you will never be happy. If you want to be happy, you just have to be happy. You don't have to be happy because of a reason. That is the magical thing. Now, for the end of this video, I'm actually going to throw in a personal thing of mine. I can tell you when was the period of my life that I was happiest at. This was probably I was probably around 21 years old or something. I was in the US. I was working in a bakery. Now, of all the things, in summer, working in bakery, when you put them together, being around very hot stoves, very hot ovens, outside is very hot, inside is hella hot, everybody would think that this is, well, hell. But even then, every day that I would go to work, or every day I would even wake up, I would just say to myself, I'm so happy to be here. I have the greatest job in the world. I work with the greatest people in the world. And then I would get up and go to work. Funny enough, no matter what happened that day, no matter how hot it was, no matter what kind of customers we got in, because to anybody who has worked with customers, you all know, customers can be a bit challenging to work with. But regardless of everything, I had the best time of my life because I had innately programmed myself to be happy. And by just reinforcing this idea that I have the best job in the world and I work with the best people in the world, I made it a perceivable reality for myself. I made it so that I was happy. So that would be it for now. And again, I'll just say it as I kind of do it on all of my previous videos. Do things you want to do. And this actually falls in line with the happiness as well. Don't base your happiness on other people's happiness. Don't compare yourself to other people. Because, again, you don't have to be the best. You just have to be better.